Hi there, this is April from Primitive Mommy. And if you have gone green like me, you might be wondering what to do on birthdays with all the streamers and balloons, and you might feel sick about throwing them away like I have in the past. So what I decided is I was going to make fabric reusable pennants that I can use for every birthday. And what I've made is a happy birthday pennant. So this one says happy, and then I have a birthday one, and then I've made for each of my children one with their names on it. So, and I've made them quilts, and so what I did is I took the same extra fabric that I had from their quilts and I made one with their name. So now every birthday we don't have to have all the terrible balloons that make it into the ocean and the streamers full of all those dyes and stuff going into the trash. So what I have here is a piece of fabric, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to make your own pennants. So I kind of chose some birthday type themed fabric. Like this one says happy birthday, and I liked quilting it and making it all like different pieces together. So you're just going to go ahead and get it into the shape. I don't have measurements for angles here. I just eyeballed it and got it in the shape of a pennant. One-handed is a little more difficult. Okay, so you see there's a pennant shape there. I'm going to have to trim straight across the top. So I'm going to go ahead and cut with I have my cutting board here, I have my ruler, and I have my rolling cutter. And these are awesome if you don't have one and you do a lot of sewing. You need one, or quilting, you absolutely need one. Alright, so I have my son helping me here, and what I'm going to do is, I'm right-handed here, I'm going to cut along this line, and then I'm going to cut across the top here like I showed you. Just make a nice straight cut. And look at that, I have a pennant. So, then I'm going to just keep this fold, I'm going to iron it, and then I'm going to go ahead and sew along that line. And just like a pillow, then I will make it right side out. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so I have my pennant here, the same one I just cut, and I have it ready to sew. I'm going to try and do this while I tape. So far so good. I'm just going to sew along there. Do a 1/4 inch seam. Okay. Okay, so I used my pencil to get my tip. I stuck it inside there to get my tip nice and pointy and all out. And now I'm going to iron it. So it's nice and flat and pretty. So now you would want to make as many pennants as for whatever you're spelling. If you're spelling happy birthday, if that's what you want to do, the same as me, or if you want to do your child's name. The possibilities are endless and up to you. So next I'm going to show you how to string them all together. Alright, so to make the strip of fabric that your pennants are actually connected to, you're just going to use any fabric you want to use. You can see that I use the same fabric that was in my pennants on this one. And you're going to lay your pennants out. I do mine about a fingertip width apart. And you lay them out to see how long you're going to need. And make sure you leave some for tying it on each end. And then I measure my fabric and I do 2 inch. So I'm going to cut this strip. I do 2-inch strips, and I cut that, and you can sew, like this is just a piece of fabric to show you, and then you sew them and make sure you have a piece of fabric that's that length. Alright, so I used my rotary cutter and my ruler here, and I cut 2-inch strip. This is just a small strip for a demonstration on how you're going to make this. So first you're going to take it and you're going to fold it in half, and you're going to iron it along there. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect. That's just water. It helps the fabric relax and take its new shape here. And now we're going to take it. This is probably the most time-consuming part of the whole thing. Now you can do this one. I did a 2-inch strip. You can do 2.5 inches, like on my other one, and just have a fatter piece up there. It just depends on what you want to use. So now I'm going to go ahead and make that crease more visible for you. And I'm going to take each flap, each side, and fold it in, and then I'm going to iron the whole length, and then I'll fold the other side in and iron the whole length. Okay, so I folded the one edge in and ironed the whole length, and now I'm going to fold this one in and iron the whole length. Okay, so you can see that both edges have been ironed in there. Now I'm going to fold our original crease back over and iron it again. Okay, so I'm just ironing that. Like I said, this part is kind of time consuming, especially when you're taping it. Alright, so now I have my strip here. Iron that one more time. Okay, so you will want to lay this out with your pennants, like I said. And then, this is why it's so easy the way I do this. I don't know if people do it another way. I just dreamed this up one day. And so I tuck that in there where it's going to be. And so you see that I'm not even going to have to sew the top of my pennant. It's going to get sewed when I sew this together. So really I'm only sewing the one side, and the rest is cutting and then sewing the top. So now I'm going to sew this in my sewing machine. You can straight pin them all in place if you want. Okay, so I actually decided to stop and not sew this whole pennant in there because this is just an example for you, and maybe I'll use this actual pennant and sew it onto a different strip someday. So, but you just want to sew along the whole edge there, along the entire thing, put each pennant in at a time, and then you'll have one that looks like my example, like I showed you over here. And the next thing I'm going to do is show you how to put the letters. Alright, now we're going to show you how to fix the letters. So every package can be a little bit different, but these are the letters I have. I'm doing white on this dark color, so it'll show up like that one. And what you want to do is you heat up where you're going to do your project. You heat that up with your iron on the wool setting. This is really easy. It doesn't even require me walking you through it. But then I'm going to heat up my pennant. I've kind of already looked where I want that letter, so I'm ready. Okay, get my R on there. Sorry. Nice right there. Then I'm going to cover it with a piece of fabric. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to hold it on there for 1 minute. Okay, so I'm just applying good pressure here. When we're about done, and we'll make sure it peels off well. So everything is a bit hot, and as you can see, it's pulling off perfect. There we go. There's my R. So this one says birthday. Birthday. You can't see the rest. But there's our birthday pennant.